Hello, Peter.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
They love me.
Procedure. Stay calm!
Now that is how you get fans excited for a movie. What is up, Burke fans? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. We're going to talk about all of the crazy Easter eggs, the moments, and that moment at the end. And now we kind of have an idea as to what is happening in this movie. Doctor Strange opening up the multiverse, and of course we see shades of the villains, and we know that the heroes are coming. So we're going to talk about this trailer. Full spoilers for the trailer. Can you spoil a trailer? Who cares? Let's talk about it. And we start out with Peter and MJ just kind of chilling out on a rooftop reminiscing, but it looks like they're trying to get away from the madness of what is happening down below, because everyone now knows, thanks to the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, really thanks to Mysterio, that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Oh my goodness, what is he going to do? So now his entire life is clouded by fame. Does the fortune come with the fame? Not necessarily, but everybody knows his secret. And we hear Zendaya say that at one point. She's like, no need to keep secrets from me anymore. Why'd you do it in the first place? And he says, well, how do I tell somebody that I'm Spider-Man? But now it kind of wants to get away from all of this because the world is aware of his deepest, darkest secret, which means the people that he loves, their lives are at stake. So it looks like Peter is wanting to do something about this. Oh, and before we get into Doctor Strange, there's also the scene of him talking to the authorities saying, yeah, I didn't kill Mysterio. He made it look like I killed him. And they're like, yeah, but those are your drones. How do you get out of that? Looks like you're going to need a lawyer. You guys know any lawyers in the Marvel Universe? Because if we take a very close look at a couple of shots in this scene specifically, I mean, it looks like Charlie Cox's outfit. I don't want to get anyone too excited, but you see this picture, classic Daredevil. I don't think we're going to actually see Daredevil in this movie, probably just Matt Murdock. I have a feeling he's going to be the lawyer. And then this shot, I mean, got the hairy arms. Am I looking too far into this? I don't think so. And a lot of people have confirmed that Charlie Cox is in the movie. So, yeah, this is all I need. And they didn't show the head for a reason. That's strategic. But let's move into his interaction with Doctor Strange, walking right in to the Sanctum Sanctorum, approaching Doctor Strange and just trying to figure out, okay, do I call you Sir? Should I call you Stephen? Doctor? Mr. Dr. Professor Patrick? No. And as we're getting that interaction, we hear the voiceover in the background. We see Peter in his brand new awesome-looking black Spider-Man suit wandering through different locations as he is being led through the public. Everyone's staring down little old Peter Parker because, hey, secret's out. What am I going to do about this, Mr. Strange? And Peter says, well, maybe you can make it to where he never told my secret in the first place. But then we see a shot of Wong, who is telling Doctor Strange, yeah, don't do this because this is one of those spells that you do not want to mess with. Doctor Strange, if you do this, looks like you could be opening up multiverse. Is that what happens? Cut to Doctor Strange. Looks like he's doing what he did in Thor Ragnarok, where he uses a hair to create some sort of spell. And he says, our world is about to forget that you are Spider-Man. And that's when Spidey stops and he says, everybody? Because I don't want MJ and Ned and all of my family and friends to forget, Aunt May, of course, that I am Spider-Man. That's pretty important to me. And so you get that back and forth, and he's like, please don't interrupt me while I'm doing this. And he's like, come on, Mr. Dr. Professor Strange, what are we doing here? And it looks like something goes awry. I also want to throw this in. It is kind of odd seeing Doctor Strange, like the man who's supposed to know it all, do this so easily for this teenage boy, knowing the circumstances. So I feel as if there's something more at play here. There are a couple of storylines in the comics where Strange makes a deal with the devil, and at points Peter Parker makes a deal with the devil, and I don't know if a darker character is a part of this movie, because obviously it's Spider-Man. They want to keep it kind of uppity, more happy, cheerful. But I just know deep down inside, I know it's not just Doctor Strange as a part of this, deal that he's making with Peter Parker. Something else is happening. We don't know what, unless they just wrote it that way. And if that's the case, then I'll be like, okay, Doctor Strange, you should have been smarter than that. But we're not getting everything from the trailer. So if you have a problem like that, I think just stay patient, because clearly we don't know everything yet. And there's a lot of things in the comics that tell us that it could be something more. And this is where we can draw everything back to what we've been seeing earlier on in the year, specifically Loki. That's where I want to start. Loki is a show that introduced us to the idea and the concepts of variants. Now, I've been on Twitter all day, and I've been seeing a couple of things, and this picture in particular, one that has been floating around the internet. This is another angle of this photo. It looks like a toy leak featuring Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Now, a lot of people have come out against this, saying it's not true, even though, you know, whether it's true or not, we don't need the proof, because we know he's in it now. But on the back of this box, it does say the word variant. So if this is a real hot toy, then it's kind of confirming that these are indeed variants of Spider-Man, which means J.K. Simmons, J. Jonah Jameson variant is J.K. Simmons, J. Jonah Jameson, as opposed to Spider-Man's variants being Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. But this is basically opening up all of those things, all introduced to us really by the comic books, but this year in movie television form by Loki, the concept of what a variant can be. And we saw so many different forms of Loki in that television show, from alligator Loki to young Loki to older Loki. And it does look like they're applying the exact same concept here to Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and Tom Holland, different versions of the Spider-Man. Now, how do they come about and why do they come about? That trailer doesn't give us full details on that, but we can assume a few things. Let's get back to the trailer. And then we get Doctor Strange talking about space-time and the multiverse, the fact that we know nothing about it, and yet he has just opened up some portals to the multiverse. We see shots of Spider-Man flying through the air, and it looks like he may just be going to another dimension with no way home. You see what they did there with the title? He says the problem with you trying to live two different lives, the longer you do it, the more dangerous it becomes. And we don't know specifically if he's talking about just, you know, Tom Holland or Peter Parker trying to be Peter and trying to be Spider-Man, or if there's some other form of him living two different lives. I think we could just apply it to that first one and him wanting to get that life that he once had back, but with that comes consequences, and we don't know how this movie's going to end. We don't know if it's going to end with Ned and MJ and Aunt May not knowing about everything that they already know about, or maybe even further than that, maybe even not knowing Peter Parker in general, maybe forgetting about him altogether. I don't think they would do that. That is a bit dark, but it looks like Doctor Strange has just messed everything on up, and he's messing with something that he says we know nothing about, and that is the multiverse. And that's when we start seeing the crazy shots in the trailer. We get this yellow lightning that it's not necessarily reminiscent of what we saw in Amazing Spider-Man 2, but we can assume that is Electro, because we now know that he's not doing blue, he's doing yellow. That was confirmed by Jamie Foxx on Instagram and taken down, what was this, a year and a half ago? So come on, y'all. We already knew about the multiverse a long time ago. We were all just denying it. I wasn't. I was saying it was fact. We also get a couple of hidden shots, and I will admit there are a few that are extremely hard to see. This moment in particular, it's extremely dark. A lot of people are theorizing maybe Venom. I think it's Lizard. If you listen to the trailer, and I'm not going to play any audio just for copyright purposes, you can hear a roar. It sounds like Lizard, so there is another member of the Sinister Six that I did not see the first time I watched the trailer. And this shot, it looks like sand. It's a lot of sand. So to me, it honestly feels like Sandman is protecting Peter in this scene. Maybe Peter is somehow using the Doctor Strange suit to control the sand, but it looks like Sandman could go from a bad guy to a good guy, or just be a good guy altogether, working off the ending of Spider-Man 3. So along with the really obvious ones, Lizard and Sandman, it looks like they're making appearances in this trailer. So those three, Electro, Lizard, Sandman, and then we get the classic Green Goblin pumpkin bomb that rolls into frame and proceeds to blow up, which confirms Green Goblin's in the picture. Now, who is playing Green Goblin? Y'all know who's playing Green Goblin. Y'all know who's playing Green Goblin. Why do we know that? How do we know that? Well, be careful what you wish for, Parker. And that's when we get the final shot that basically confirms all of the theories, the speculation, the madness, and what Alfred Molina said in an interview a couple of months back on accident. Kevin Feige with the sniper rifle like, that's not how you hold a sniper. Regardless, it's Alfred Molina. It's Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2, that specific version of Doc Ock. And what a huge, I mean, you saw my trailer reaction, so you know how excited I got, but what a huge thrill that was seeing him on screen again. It looks spectacular. He says, of course, hello, Peter, and that menacing Doc Ock voice that we remember so well, and we're going to get so much more from him in this movie, and Willem Dafoe, and Jamie Foxx, and the rest of whoever makes out the entirety of the Sinister Six, because that's been the rumors all along that that's who Spider-Man is fighting, but he's going to need some help. He's going to need some help, and it looks like he's going to recruit the help of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Now, I'm really happy. Personally, I'm happy they didn't show them in this trailer. It does feel like something we got to say for the theater, okay? Now, we may get some sort of voiceover from Tobey in the next trailer or, you know, a moment from Andrew, but I really want this to be a theatrical experience. I don't want to see anything because we know they're in it. That's confirmation enough. If you're still denying it, I don't know what to tell you. If you're still, I don't know what to, stop denying it. Oops. But here's the thing. I don't blame you if you were denying it in the first place. I don't, because this is a concept that my brain still can't really get around. Bringing back Andrew and Tobey to join us in this epic-looking Spider-Man movie. I never imagined Marvel would do it. And just today, one of the producers, I think it was Lord or Miller, one of the two, they tweeted out, they replied to their tweet from like a year and a half ago talking about how Marvel was saying it's too soon to do a full-on Spider-Verse, and they replied to that tweet and said, never mind. So, confirmation up and down, back and forth, outlets, trades, whatever you need, we have it. But I really want it to be saved. I want those moments with our characters that we know from the other movies to be saved. And it's not just a Spider-Man 3 anymore. It's an amazing Spider-Man 3. It is a Spider-Man 4. It is a continuation of a lot of these stories. Now, whether it be a full-on continuation of Tobey's story, I mean, maybe they pluck him out of that time when Doc Ock was Doc Ock. It sounds like, according to Alfred Molina, that he's going to be saved from the river, essentially saved from death. So that has to be the same case with Willem Dafoe, right? I'm excited to see how they're going to do that and how they're going to turn this Sinister Six into, you know, this big multi-dimensional multiverse team. That's really cool to me, and it's just another element to Spider-Man 3, on top of the fact that everyone knows Peter is Spider-Man. How's he going to fix it? Well, of course, Doctor Strange. That's who you go to for all your problems, but thus creating a massive variant-filled multiversal film that will absolutely carry over into Multiverse of Madness. This, along with what we see in Loki, Kang the Conqueror, the timeline just breaking apart into so many different pieces. All of this is happening at once, by the way, and we look at WandaVision and that giant thing that happened in the final episode in WandaVision that is another form of opening up the multiverse. I mean, there's like 3 different things that are all combining to create Multiverse of Madness, but we're not focused on that. We're focused on Spider-Man No Way Home. Y'all, I can't. This is too much for me. So, what did you think of this trailer? Did you enjoy every ounce of it like I did? Are you excited to see what this movie is holding? Are you excited that we're getting a live-action Spider-Verse thanks to the multiverse opening up in this world and becoming the next big event in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Let me know all of those things down below. And if you like this video, if you like this trailer breakdown of sorts, be sure to drop your thumbs up. That would be spectacular. It tells me you want more things like this with the next big trailer. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll be back with more content this week. Be sure to check out my Shang-Chi review earlier today and, of course, that trailer reaction. I'll see you soon.